Okay, so in the last How to Be a Raw Vegan episode, I was speaking quite a bit towards the end there of the cooked fooder, and I really felt like it was in a way disrespectful. And, the truth is I have a lot of friends who are cooked fooders, and I love them. I love cooked fooders, and I love cooked food. But I don't love the toll it takes on our bodies. And that is something that can be greatly lessened if we understand the safe cooked food. And I think that's a really important topic. Steaming vegetables, that's not bad for you. If you drink the water that you steamed it in, which is very good, then you're probably going to get a lot of the nutrients. And the fact is also that there's so many vegetables that suck to eat raw, like Brussels sprouts or yams. I really enjoy cooking cauliflower and broccoli. Those are okay raw too. You can marinate them and get much better results. But this cooked food that you want to stay away from is a lot of times has a lot of table salt in it, and anything that's really prepared in a restaurant is probably cooked on something that also had like lard on it or something that's going to be really bad for you. And so my point is that a lot of the raw fooders that I have talked to talk about craving these foods, and there's safe ways to take care of that. And one of those ways is to find out the safe cooked food. You'd also want to cut table salt out of your diet. If you ever are experiencing health problems and you eat a lot of table salt, you'll experience definite results, better results, if you cut that out of your diet and move to sea salt or Himalayan crystal salt. Crystal spelt with a K. You can probably find a website that'll tell you all about it. It's really actually beneficial to the body, whereas table salt's really bad for you. So, we talked about salt and the safe cooked food. Why don't doctors tell us any of this? This is a real short thing I'm just going to touch on, but I believe, and a lot of raw foodists say, that doctors won't tell you this because they'll be out of a job if they do. The medical industry is based around us being sick, and if that's not already obvious to you, then let it be now. I worked in an Italian restaurant, and I served a man a lasagna, and 3 minutes later, after he started eating the lasagna, hey, don't eat that, hey, psst, psst, psst. Sorry, my cat's eating a tack, hey, psst, psst. And that's probably not very good for him. I feed him raw cauliflower. He really likes it. It's awesome. Mix it in with a kibble and cabbage and some small sliced carrots. So the lasagna story. I serve this guy the lasagna, and he eats half of it in like 3 minutes, and he calls me over and complains, and he says, I don't know how anyone in this place isn't dying of heat exhaustion. You have to open a window. It's too hot in here. It's inhumane. And I looked down at his lasagna. I didn't say anything disrespectful, and I'm glad I didn't. But this guy's shoveling steaming hot meat into his internal organs and blaming the environment that he's so hot. And this really dawned upon me later as a analogy for where the world is. So many people cause so much suffering to themselves. And what they do when that happens is they blame the stuff around them and not their own actions, and thus it continues not checked and becomes a very strong bad habit. It's kind of sad if you think about it, but that's where we're at, and everyone will eventually learn. I once had a dream that I was on the beach, and I looked over and there was some, hey, don't come over here, you ruined the video last time. Sorry, buddy. And there were these big carrots on the sand, and there was seaweed and a couple like potato slices, and they were sizzling. It was a really hot day, and they were sizzling on the shore of the beach. And I was with some friends, and I was like, hey, check it out. God's making a stir fry. And, my point for saying that, I'm not entirely clear about, but I think it's a really funny dream, and I think it's something that only a person who had grown up on cooked food could have, because the food that God makes for us, the food that God cooks for us, is safe for our bodies and is very nutritious. So, let's see, what haven't I gone over? I wanted to talk about the definition of food that the dictionary gives, and that is something that sustains life and growth, supports life and growth, and nourishes. And our society, our teeth are all falling out. We have broken bones all the time. People have arthritis. If you look at the disease and just the suffering that the physical body's going through on a large scale, you'll see that what we're putting in our bodies is in time really not sustaining, not nurturing at all. So that's another way we could make a connection. Being a raw foodist is very interesting. You start looking at the world in such a different way. I'd say that the definition of food nowadays is anything that you can put in your body that won't immediately kill you. But, that's just fun and games. I don't think we'll ever see that in a dictionary. Hopefully not. Maybe the situation will be remedied by then. But all it really takes is to go to a grocery store or a farmer's market and look around. Just open your eyes a little bit wider and ask yourself this question: what of these foods did my Creator make for me, and which of these foods were harmed by mankind's ignorance? And the choice should be obvious if you keep asking yourself that question. You may really find that you're drawn to that diversity. Every head of lettuce that you see is different. Every kiwi that you cut in half and look into has a different light center and expands into all these beautiful seeds, and they're all different. It's all beauty. It's all coming from a creative source. And I know I always go off about the creative food at the end of these, but it's so inspiring. A box of macaroni and cheese always looks the same. People complain of dullness and boredom in their lives, and what they need to look at is their own actions are responsible. And picking up a box of mac and cheese again and again, once a week or twice a week, and buying that for your food is so boring. If you buy a pear or a guava or a banana, they're all different. It's so beautiful. And I think that really once you get into the raw food vibration, the more you can see that, and it's absolutely wonderful. God bless.